Steve, what were you looking for from today's game, and did you get what you wanted from today's game?
Yeah, just fitness really. It doesn't matter about too much else, you know. Some of the new boys, integrate them, and the boys getting back mobile again with the ball, because we've had a really tough pre-season so far. They've had an incredibly tough week, and a tough week before that. So, you know, when they come into today, they're not really fresh even. So I'm really pleased with them today. I thought we were better today than I was expecting us to be. So yeah, you know, and even though the pitch had a fair bit of grass on it, it's really hard to get some tempo into the game. You know, a big thank you to Evesham for inviting us here today and playing in the game and putting the game on. You know, they've been great hosts, and you know, certainly be a friendly we would look forward to having again next year. They've been really welcoming, very nice, and we've enjoyed it. We've had a good day. We've not had any injuries, so yeah, that was the main thing really. It's just about getting around the pitch again, getting them into those football movements.
Was there anything in the way that you played that particularly pleased you?
I thought that the effort was there and the endeavour to stay involved in the game when you're tired, because it doesn't matter who you play against. It's a big old pitch, you've got to run up and down. So I would be happier with probably more their endeavour today than the quality, even though the quality was there in moments. But yeah, look, you know, they're going to get better. I mean, what we need to bear in mind here is, you know, we're mid-July, and you know, they finished on the 2nd of May. So, you know, it's a long old time, you know, before all of a sudden they pull boots on again and, you know, put their shin pads on and get involved in skirmishes and tackles and all of that. So the big thing for me today was a little bit more fitness, and I'm really pleased with the guys today. I just said in there I was pleasantly surprised, because we were better today. Can we be better? For sure, but we were better today than I anticipated, because I have the knowledge of what's gone on this week and last week and the back end of the week before that, if you know what I mean. So we've had it really tough. It's been really hard work. It's been a tough summer. Not only for them, it's been tough for me. Really, I haven't really stopped since the end of the season. You know, we're trying to get our recruitment right. That's been incredibly tough. But I think, you know, when I look at the sixes that we've got in now, I'm happy with them.
And the latest two, let's talk about those. Sean McWilliams first. Tell us a bit about him.
Yeah, so Sean, we thought Sean was going to be signing for a League One team. That's what we thought might be going on there. And then all of a sudden we were able to revive our interest in him, because that move probably wasn't going to happen. So I spoke to him the other day, then I spoke to his agent, him again, then his agent, and backwards and forwards like it does for a little while. Managed to get him down, sat in front of him, told him what Cheltenham Town means to me and what I need it to mean to him, like I probably have done with all of them this summer, because the other boys already know. So then we got him over the line. Obviously at the moment, you know, Sean's, what day are we on now? 18. He's done 3 great days. He had a little bit of today. He had a horrible day yesterday. He had a horrible day the day before. And at the moment, he's got a big thing going on in his private life where he's going to become a father for the first time. So he needs to be really pleased with himself for the last 3 days, what he's managed to achieve. But we've got to make sure that we get him right, so he will have an incredibly tough week next week, albeit if he's in every day next week, depending on the birth of his first baby. So him and Billy, they're expecting their first baby, and unlike many parents, they don't know the sex of the baby yet, so they've got a lovely surprise coming to them. So hopefully by the next time we speak or whatever like that, Billy's had the baby and Sean's become a dad, and lovely healthy baby, and all of that's fine. So he's got a fair bit of stress in his life at the moment.
And he's got a few 350s to catch up on, has he?
Yeah, he's already had a little go at them. He's had a little taster, and we'll invite him to a few more next week.
All the best of that.
Yeah.
And what about Will Stanway?
Yeah, so that one's been ongoing for a little while. I think I ended up speaking to Jamie in Spain, Jamie and Will, about something going missing. You know, that.
You said that. I think you said that you'd missed one and it might be resurrected. Is that the one
Yeah,
you were talking about?
Yeah. I don't know if I said resurrected. Maybe if you read between the lines, maybe Adam said it might be resurrected. So that wasn't my words, because I couldn't really see us getting too far. It was, I don't know. As I've said, it was a bit of an arduous deal, really, which I don't feel as though it needed to be, based on the information we were given. However, we're there now. Will's with us. He's got a long drive back to Barrow tonight, and then another drive back down tomorrow. But you know, that's good. We're delighted to have him. I think that there's huge growth in him for the fee we've got him at, which is probably why it was so tough. You know, the fee is nominal, and we've got I think a good opportunity of turning your young goalkeeper into a better one. He comes in obviously alongside Joe and young Mama, and I think Will working with Joe will make Will a better goalkeeper. It's amazing, really, when you think about a couple of offers that went in for him in the last window. I mean, you know, they were very big. So for us to get him, it's quite a coup, really, at the price we've got him for.
Because there was a lot of clubs. There seemed to be a lot of speculation about a lot of clubs higher up.
No, there was, and there was a couple of large bids as well from teams. One of them's not in our league now, but there was a large bid from one of the teams, and then there was another big bid from another big club in our league as well. So, you know, the fact that we've got him, who knows? If he goes and does well, we might not have him too long, so we may as well enjoy him while we've got him. But yeah, I just think that there's some of the finer details, really, with Will that, to be fair to Joe, you know, when I spoke to Joe about it in Spain, Joe was brilliant. Joe's a great guy. I love Joe Day. He works hard every day, not only his own game, but educating Mama. And I know he'll do the same with Will. And as I've said before, and I've said to Joe's like in the latter part of his career, he's not at the beginning of it. So, you know, there's always another career as well for Joe when he gives up playing. But he's not going to be giving up playing, and I want him involved all the time with us. And I think if he passes on his experience to Will, I think it's something somewhere I've wanted to get for a long time. This, by having another one of our own goalkeepers. You know, we were getting to the point where I did make a few other phone calls about having a lone goalkeeper that we would have took as well, and we would have been very happy with the lone goalkeeper that I had sort of earmarked. So we had to put a bit of a deadline on it, really, and you know, if it hadn't been sorted by yesterday, we would have been out.
Didn't try and get his sister as well, did you?
No, I didn't.
You said it's been a tough window. In what way has it been tough?
Well, like I've said before, you know, you've got a lot of the same players. We're on an island, and we're all looking at the same players. And the bottom line is, the players at this level don't earn a great deal. So the hundreds of pounds that you're talking about in negotiations are big to them. So I would say we missed out a couple of times on some monetary deals. Having said that, I'm not too sure that would have interfered with those boys that we had brought in. It just meant the others might have been in the door as well. So yeah, I mean, we've not stopped at that. We need a bit more. That we've been working on all the time and are still there. And you know, the timing is really important at the top end of the pitch. We know that we're light in that top end of the pitch. But when I look at it, we've still got, you know, if you think Sean coming in as a midfield, we've got Bickers who can go up there, we've got Bickers who can go off one of the sides, we've got Shippers who can go off on the sides, we've got Broomy that can go off on the sides. But we're probably still looking at, you know, another midfield player, we're looking at another striker, we're probably looking at 2 wingers. Now we've got the goalkeeper and we might only want one more defensive person maybe. And we've done really well with our budget in terms of what we've got and what I've got left, and we've just got to try and use that as best we can. And then once they're all in the mix, I'll chuck them in the washing machine and let them go round and round for a little while, and I'll be able to sort them out once I know what's what.
Because you haven't got any loans yet, so
no.
Would you look at 5 loans still? Would that be a possibility, or
no, probably
do you
not.
think you won't get to that many?
I don't think I'll get to that many. What I don't really want to do is I don't want to be reliant on loans. I want to get a squad where everyone's in. The trouble is with loans, they're never quite yours. So hence, you know, we've now got another goalkeeper now that we wouldn't have had if we'd just gone and got another loanee. So if we can get a squad of players that are all ours, that will be really beneficial to us, because when you do get loan, and we will have to, you know, we're certainly in for one that's a loan, 2 probably that are loans. We're waiting for them to materialise. We should know more about them. It'd be interesting to know where we are in a week's time on those answers. So yeah, I mean, I think what we've done so far, I think it's really good. If you look to where we are now and the players we've got now to where we were when I come in, and that's no disrespect to those other boys that done well for me last year, but I think we are better prepared for the season ahead than we perhaps would have been maybe 12 months ago.
So are we looking maybe 4 or 5 more?
Don't know.
Possibly.
I don't know what it just add up to. As you said, a couple of wingers, maybe a midfielder, striker, 4, 5 maybe. Yeah. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, we definitely have 5, and then not be able to afford them. You know, if you said to me now, you can get 4 good ones, or you can get 5, but you're not sure about 3 of them, I'll take the 4 good ones.
Because the ones you've got, you know, they've all got experience, they've all played, you know, they're all mid-20s, early mid-20s.
Good ages.
Yeah,
they're good ages. They're all good ages, and they're good at going away the other way. It was good. You know, the media guys will tell you the same. You know, you guys only got to see what actually went out. I'm not saying there was anything to hide, by the way, before anyone thinks there is, but the time that we had, the fun that we had, as well, away from the training ground, and you know, just becoming tighter knit. Really, that's what that was all about, and it was a great trip for us. The flights were fantastic. You know, even when we went on the flights, you know, the flight attendants are coming up. Do you want to move into this seat? Do you want this seat? Do you want a little bit more leg room here? Do you want this? Do you want that? And it was like they couldn't be helpful enough. But the lads that I've got, I trust that they're going to be polite, they're going to be helpful, not rude, not obstropolous or anything to all those people. And they were, you know, they thanked me for how the lads were when I left. So that was really important for me, that, you know, that they all acted grown up. Don't get me wrong, we didn't act like grown-ups every 5 minutes. You know, we had enough fun at times when we were in the pool and all of that business. So that was the good side of it. We had lots of it going on. It was really incredibly hard work. And at the end of the week, even though I hadn't done what the lads had done, I was glad to get home, and I was glad to see my own bed.